your girl Mir.I.am, Carolina Waves. We are here, another WaveTalk. I got a dope artist. He's a singer, he's a dancer, he does it all. We got Rashaad King with us.
How y'all doing?
Yeah, what's good?
Nothing much, man. Running around the city.
Yeah, I
trying
feel
to
it.
get this shit.
I feel it. So Rashaad, I don't know too much about you aside from the fact that you're an artist, you make dope music, you be out here in these streets with the all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, learn more about you and all this, so let the audience know more about you. So tell us a little about yourself. Where were you born, raised, all that good stuff.
Facts. So I was born in a small town called Burlington, North Carolina. No association with the coat factory. Everybody always asks.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
What your closet look like?
Yeah. So jackets, not coats. But yeah, so I grew up there. Was really heavily involved in like sports and stuff growing up. So I did that more so than music. I mean, I sang in the choir and stuff like that. But like a lot of my life was more like football, basketball, baseball. I did track in high school and stuff. So
So you were all into sports.
Yeah.
So did you ever think that was gonna be something you'd pursue, long term?
For sure. Like growing up, that's all I thought about. Like I did band in middle school.
Okay, what'd you play?
I played the baritone.
Okay.
So at one point, my dad was like, because I wanted to march and stuff, but I had games and stuff too.
So you didn't do marching band?
My dad was like, "You gonna pick? It's either gonna be football, it's gonna be music." So
dang.
I ended up picking. I played 3 years in college, so I know I don't look
football.
Yeah, I know I don't look like much of a football player, but yeah.
What do the skinny ones play? Is it like tight end or something like that?
I played wide receiver, yeah.
I don't know enough about it. I'm just be like, I know it'd be some skinny ones and there'd be some big ones.
Right.
And the big ones, they be tackling everybody. So you were the skinny fast ones.
Yeah, I was just one of the. That's exactly it. That's exactly what I was. So,
got it. See, next time you need to know about football, hit me up. I got you.
Every single explanation.
Trying to do your Super Bowl recaps and everything. So that's interesting that you had your hand in so many pots, like the band and then all the different sports. I was in marching band.
Okay, what'd you play?
Clarinet.
Okay. I love the clarinet, man.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful sound.
It's cool, I did that. A little bit of symphonic and concert band. During the off season when it wasn't sports season. So. But it was a lot of fun, How many years did you play?
I played for 3 years.
Okay.
So from 6th to 8th.
Can you still play now?
If you gave me a baritone...
A sound would come out.
I think I could do it. Honestly, I do think I could do it just because of how much we practice.
Yeah.
Like, I may not be able to do it well, but I think I could do it.
Okay.
I think so.
Well, you still got that musicality, so I'm sure if you want to try to pick it back up or something, do you play anything else?
I'm trying to learn the guitar right now.
Ooh.
So that's like, I'm not, it's nothing at this point. But
Rockstar
it
status.
will be at some point. Just remember this day.
Okay. Well, I play air guitar very well. So if you need those lessons.
I do.
I got you.
Okay.
I'm having a New Year's special still going on right now. So becoming an artist, starting to sing, when did you discover your voice?
So honestly, I sang my whole life, right? So when I was 3, I was in my papa's choir at my church.
Okay.
Led my first song, like real little dude with a big ass bow tie and stuff. So I started then.
Introducing Bow Tie King.
You heard him live. But yes, I always loved to sing. I do I sing when I do everything. So like chores, mowing the yard, I just would do it. Even when I had stepped away from like singing in the choir all the time. But most of my life, I was singing, I was doing stuff. When I got to high school, I started doing like choral music and chorus and stuff.
Okay.
Which introduced me to like the theater side of things, doing homecoming shows, doing musical reviews and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that I did in high school. Around like college, like right where I stopped playing football, which was like my 3rd year, so when I started recording my own music. So it was like 2015, 16.
Okay.
Around that time.
So you've been doing it a little over 5 years. Like, what was your very first song and was it trash? Be honest.
I only hate it. So
I'm gonna find a song.
No. I know that you won't find the song. And the reason why I'm even comfortable telling you what it was, because one, yes, it was trash. It was bad. But I thought I was doing something though. And I had a little, I had some skill, but like it definitely needed to be polished. But it was called, ironically, a cappella. But it had music. It's weird. I was very
You were like, you know what? I'm going to throw a curveball.
Yep.
I'm going to throw some music on this acapella.
I thought I was very artsy when I first started making music. So I was like, nose wide open. That's for sure.
What was your sound and your style similar to what it is now, or was it just totally different?
Completely different. So like when I first started, I was making either like conscious music or like even Christian music for certain scenarios and stuff, because I did a lot of what do they call them now? Like youth camps and things of that nature. Yeah. Performed at a few of those. So and I was really, really heavily influenced by like metaphorical rap and like syllables, chopping syllables and stuff. So a lot of my first stuff was
oh goodness, okay.
It's like, man, I can't even understand what you're saying. But to me, if you were a rapper, like you had to have like that was what skill was, because that's what I grew up listening to. So
it was your early music, because you do both now. Like you'll sing, you rap, you have the melodic. Was it more heavily rap influenced when you started out?
I feel like I sang my whole life. It took me a long time to get really comfortable and confident with my voice. So I wanted to be just the best rapper. Like in my head, I'm gonna be the best rapper that there ever was. I'm gonna put more metaphors and more punchlines than anyone could ever think of. The whole line is gonna be a metaphor. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking. So it's definitely way different than what it is now.
Well, when we get that track, you'll hear it first.
You'll never find it. You will never find it. If she does, I'm gonna cry.
He's like, it's buried.
I literally I deleted it off. I only uploaded it to SoundCloud because it literally was my first song, and I didn't even know how to like really upload it. I told people it was gonna upload it at like 12, and it didn't upload to like 12:42 or something like that, because I was sitting there like, I thought this would be easier.
Oh goodness, that's funny.
Yeah.
So your sound now and your style now, who growing up, who would you say were your biggest influences?
I would say my biggest influences were, for sure, Michael Jackson. He was the greatest of all time. I mean, man, dude can do everything.
Yes.
I loved Usher growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And even around like middle school, like when Chris Brown first came out, like that was a crazy time. And like a lot of the people around me, especially like dudes, would be hating on this nigga. Like I was like, bro, I don't know. I think he's fresh. He can sing, he can dance. Like what's wrong with that?
Dance.
Like,
he getting all the girls. Like
what's wrong? I don't understand. And his music, I thought his music was hard. So I always really, really loved R&B growing up. Even like old school stuff like New Edition. I mean, that's like the 80s. But, it's like old school now. But I always, I think back to like the different MP3s I had throughout my life, because I never had an iPod. Like that wasn't a thing in our house. But I always had If It Isn't Love and Poison was on literally every single MP3 that I had. It just found its way there. Even as a young kid, I just, it just would perk. It would just get me every time. So Usher's ability to dance, choreo, all that stuff. Chris, of course, the same. Michael's is like, he was just an innovator in every way, as far as sonically, visually, dancing. So a lot of that definitely influences the way I approach. Because I mean, a lot of people don't do it anymore. Some people still do it, but it's fun. I love to attach dance and visuals with music. In that way. So.
A lot of people don't do it. Well, first of all, a lot of people just you can't say nothing nice. But I like how you embrace that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the most memorable and legendary artists have always had an aspect of dance and entertainment to their live performances and their live show. When did you start to integrate that, or has it always kind of take me back to your very first performance that you ever did? What was that like versus now?
So I think honestly back then I had more energy, for real, if you could believe it. I was just so amped.
Did you have dancers?
Nah, I had no dancers. It was just me, and I would just be bouncing. Like, I'm jumping, I'm bouncing. I mean, I danced, but it wasn't like what I do now. Like, it was more like the trendy dance. I'm dabbing and I'm piping it up and doing all that stuff, and we jigging. That's more so in my head, like, because I'm like, I want to be a rapper. But when I started to switch like gears, it's like, well, my whole life I've been able to do that other side of dance too. Which, I mean, I ain't saying I'm the best dancer, but I love to dance and I have fun doing it. So it's just like I might as well incorporate it. It probably, honestly, within the last 2 years, I would say, like a year and a half, like I started either bringing dancers or planning, like, all right, at this point, it's going to be a dance break, and I'm not even going to, like, try to sing and dance. I'm just going to go for it. Like, I'm just going to have fun with it. And
I got to tell you, I love a good dance break.
It turns out so much fun.
I love a good dance. No one is quite as good as me, including the late, great Michael, R.I.P. But, I absolutely love it. So, like, artists like you and Sidge and, even Nunn, when she used to have her dance breaks, like, I just think it just brings, like, the entertainment and level up a notch. And it's just, like, I don't know. Some of my favorite entertainers and performers, I'm like Janet and Michael. And so, to see that in the younger generation is nice. To see that extra effort and emphasis or whatever. So tell us a little bit about your music career as it is now. Mm-hmm. So what have you released? So somebody's like, you know what, I fuck with Rashaad King, he dope. If they Google you right now, like, what projects are they going to find out? And then take us to what you got right now. Okay.
So, like, the most recent, like, project I put out, it's called King James. And really what it was like an ode to, like, Michael Jackson and, like, Rick James and people like that. So it's almost like an era project where it sounds more like retro. But since then I've been doing like singles and stuff leading up to an album. Okay. The first of that one being Bombay in LA, which is one of my favorites. I love that song. Infidelity came out after that, and Fan, Westside Maserati, you'll probably see those songs online. I've done a video for Westside Maserati, Matrix theme, which was pretty fun, with some choreo, some dance. We had a fight scene in it. That was lit. Little gunfire, you know what I'm saying? Some action.
Okay. Action packed,
getting our Wesley Snipes on, You know what I'm saying? But we so we're working on an album, finishing it up. Sprung is another single from that. And I just really just been cranking out as much music as I possibly can, like, as far as on the recording side, just because I don't know, I just feel weird when I'm not doing stuff. I try to write a song a week, a song that I'm like, okay, this could be a really good song. Yeah. So
who's your producer, or how do you find your beats?
So my manager finds some of the producers that I work with, but as far as, like, in-house that I've been working with for years, Young Yankee, who's out of Medbin, Contrabass, Skywalker, who's actually my brother, he's a producer, he's produced a couple of my tracks before, Julius Tunstall. These are all people that I've known, though, like, my whole life, that just ended up growing up to have the same type of interest in music. But I'm always down to collab with people. I just so happen to know some really talented people too. That just love to make music. Like me and Yank, like, man, like, as far as when we were doing shows in the beginning, like, he's producing, he's DJing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Late nights.
You need somebody like that on the team that can just kind of, like, multi-purpose. It can, like, the Swiss Army knife. They can pretty much do everything.
And he can rap too, which is crazy. So it's like, he's a jack of all trades.
So if you don't have any talent, it's because this kid has all of them. Sorry.
It's split. Especially, the crazy thing about Carolina Waves in general, I feel like, is when I go, it's like, it's so many talented people in North Carolina. You kind of just get to see a glimpse of that. And even some of the shows that I've done outside of North Carolina, like, I did one in Atlanta, and literally, like, 7 of, like, 15 were, like, North Carolina, Greensboro, I'm from Charlotte, I'm from... It's like, man, we really out here. So, I mean, we really
Carolina has
really
something to say, and it's really time to listen. Now, we have to talk about, you touched on it very briefly, but we got to talk about the new single, Sprung.
Yes.
It is out on all platforms. The video's out. You may have heard it on your local radio station. Definitely continue to support. So tell me about the making of it, and what was the experience like?
So I was sitting with Bishop and it was my manager, and was just siphoning, just going through beats, shuffling and stuff, and I heard it. And I was like, oh, this is hard. A lot of my music, I feel like up to this point, has been like kind of moody, especially when I made that shift to R&B. It's like kind of slow, like vibey, moody type stuff. So he's making it a point like we need to pick it up some so you can hit different markets and stuff like that. So
and hit that 8 count.
Because that's true though. Like that was lacking from my performance because I wasn't doing up tempo type of music. So it's like being able to shift it both. But anywho, we were listening and he played that beat and I was just like, man, this is tough. And I could kind of hear like the sample from Sprung. It's kind of in there. It's a little bit different. There's a little bit of deviation. It's in a different key. But immediately I'm just like, man, Sprung's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah.
T-Pain is one of the greatest entertainers of all time.
Yeah.
So it's like, ode to him and do my own spin. You know what I'm saying? And make it more.
Bring Sprung into
now.
to this new generation now, and I think T-Pain, because we're gonna receive it. He's gonna hear it one day.
He's gonna love it.
And hop on a remix.
T-Pain came into the game, literally everything changed.
Yeah, it did, and he received the backlash for that. A lot of times when you're a visionary and a pioneer, there's gonna always be, yes, you're great, and then there's gonna be a backlash, like to tear him down. So he's back to the point where he's being respected and received, so we love it.
Yeah.
Now, I wish I could say we're post-pandemic. Kind of not. COVID, it's been 2 years. How has it affected your career? Did it slow you down? Did it move you up? Did you have to adapt and evolve? How have you been able to stay relevant? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I look at shows and flyers from like 12 months ago, even 6 months ago, artists have fallen off. You don't see them anywhere anymore.
Yeah.
How have you been able to maintain that consistency?
One, I'd say I'm very fortunate and blessed, man. I gotta start with that.
Yeah.
But as far as COVID affected everything, like for a second, just bam, like everything shut down, shut off. So I think that if I can be real though, COVID really brought out like a hustler instinct, hustler mentality, like for those who needed it, who didn't already have it. Cause I feel like I recorded a lot. I recorded a lot, and I would do shows and stuff, but it was just a different type of mentality. Like, so when it's like something is scarce and it's like I gotta find it, I gotta go for it because again, I just feel weird when I'm sitting, like, I don't know if that's because of sports, I don't know why that is, but it's just it eats at me and it like really bothers my conscience. I'm like, man, you say you want this, but what are you doing to actually like actively make that happen? So, initially, I was just like, well, I'm going to start making covers and doing stuff because I'm stuck in the house, one, and I'm bored. But then virtual shows start popping up, shows like Fresh Friday and like, all these different
Waves in Motion too.
Waves in Motion. And that lineup was crazy.
Yeah,
so once those started popping up, it's like, okay, start going to those. There were some bars that were still kind of open. It would just be less people. So it's like, all right, go to those. Because to me, it's like, regardless of how many people are in the building, anyway, whether COVID's related or not, it's like you never know who's in the building, one. And then two, it's like these are new listeners, these are potential fans. So it's like I'm going to try to perform the best I can. If it's 3 of y'all in here or if it's 300, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of those shows, I had enough space to like walk around and really do what I wanted to because it wasn't as many people. So I'm like spinning and dancing and all kind of stuff.
Shit, if you hit a wrong note or, the spin don't land quite right.
And the funny thing about you saying that is a lot of times stuff like that would happen, but it would be the perfect environment for it, like more like a constructive space and a practice space. Yeah. So like now, like I feel, I'm still perfecting my craft. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm not, but I feel better than I did last year. Yeah. And it's all about progress, man. Like you're not comparing to anybody else. Like forget about other artists and the people you see on TV. Like, are you progressing? Are you getting better? Are you pushing yourself? Like that's really what COVID did for me. I ended up getting it.
Same.
Like recent, honestly. But
I know it's like
it's weird.
I didn't get it for 2 years, and then all of a sudden,
like
everybody.
I avoided it. I swear, it's like
weird. Just weirdness.
It was trash, but luckily I had like pretty mild symptoms.
Same.
So like it only lasted for a couple days, and I stayed at home. I'm a homebody anyway. I don't really like going out unless it's music stuff and performing and doing stuff like that. So.
You still play any sports?
Yeah, I still play football. I do flag sometimes. I actually made a semi-pro team last year, but I just didn't have the time.
Wow.
Yeah, I tried out,
That's
made
a
it,
little
got my
backup.
number. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, I was so hyped because I love the game, man. Like, I know like I said, I know I don't look like much, but like I can play the game of football. Like,
Okay.
so.
Well, since we're on that topic, who do you think's gonna make it in the Super Bowl, and who do you think's gonna win?
First off, can I just talk about the last 2 games?
Epic and iconic.
It was like.
They were good.
I
They were
really
good.
cannot say
I only watched the last 5 minutes of one of the games, but that was a good 5 minutes.
I'm telling you. So the Bills and the Chiefs, and then the Bucks and the Rams. Like the Bucks and the Rams game was crazy because it's Tom Brady. They're up big, and it's like everybody in the room is already saying, "Can't count out Brady. You know it's Tom. You know what he can do."
Yeah.
So he ends up coming back, and then they win like literally by this much. So that was
Yeah.
nuts. And then on the flip side of that. Overtime with the Chiefs, like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's hard to I don't know, man. I really want the Rams to win personally because I like OBJ and I feel like he was like stuck. But then also for like Matthew Stafford too. Like you think about him being with the Lions, his whole career, like he can play ball, like he can throw the football. He just hasn't had the supporting cast and the team and the organization behind him. So I like redemption stories.
Love them.
So as far as
and I like
OBJ,
the other people who have been doing something for a long time. It's never like reached the pinnacle or they have never won a championship or a ring or something like that, and they finally get their moment. So yeah, I'll be with it if the Rams won. Plus it's gonna be in their hometown of LA, so hopefully they're gonna make it to the Super Bowl, and I would like to see it win. But that halftime show is gonna be crazy. Mary J, Kendrick, Eminem, Snoop, and Dr. Dre. What would be like the pinnacle for you for your career? Like what stage? Is it like Coachella? Is it the Grammys? Is it the Super Bowl? Like, we manifesting right now. So we're going to speak it all into the existence. So, what are those stages for you?
So truthfully, I've written my Grammy speech. I wrote it last month.
Am I in it?
Yeah.
The lies!
I would though, because honestly.
First of all, give an honor to Mir.
Right? No, for real though, Mir really has you helped me out so much, within the past 2 years, man. Since we met, you've been since Bombay in LA, for real, you've shown a lot of love. So I do appreciate you, and I would shout you out.
Thank you.
So that's not a lie, but. So I'm gonna rewrite it though, and I'm gonna put it in there because I ain't gonna lie, I didn't put it in there, but I will do that. I've written that speech. I don't know if I would want to perform at the Grammys. I just want to win one.
Nah, you gotta perform at the Grammys.
As far
you gotta have your epic performance moment.
I'm trying to think.
Is there a festival or?
There's a couple arenas that I've saved the pictures of that I'm I want to perform there. Like PNC, that's for sure. As far as an event, I guess honestly I would say Super Bowl because that's literally the biggest show.
Yeah,
ever.
It's the most watched event in the world every year.
Seeing it, I personally being a part of productions my whole life and seeing how hard it is to even do the ones that I've done that are literally nowhere in comparison at this point. But I understand how tedious and stuff it is. So
and detailed. And
I have a hard time with the Super Bowl show because people are so hateful, online and stuff. Yeah. And I don't understand. I really haven't seen a bad one. I haven't seen one that I'm just that was god awful. I've seen some that
right after Nipplegate, when they started booking all those 70-year-old folk singers, there was a pretty up until the last 5 years, it's been pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
But before Nipplegate and the 10-year period after, and the last 2 years when they started getting Prince and Bruno, Coldplay, Beyonce, they finally started getting people who were not in the twilight of their life. Then it started picking back up, and this is the most ever since Jay-Z, he's had a big influence on the NFL, with things that they've been doing musically and on the community side. he had a big part in this lineup. So, okay, who would you want to see perform at next year's Super Bowl?
Who would I want to see?
Aside from Rashaad King.
Right.
Who do you think could give a really good show?
Who could give a good show? Honestly, I would love to see Chris Brown do a halftime show.
He would kill a halftime.
I think he would.
They would never give it to him, but
or Usher. Because his Las Vegas residency, I haven't been, but I've seen the pictures, and I'm just like.
And I've seen some of the video where he's just skating around, and I'm just like.
I'm like, yeah, he would kill.
Yeah, I'd be posted up in the ER with my legs in cast, and I try to do that. Like, he's just. It's crazy because Usher has been out for like 25 years. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I just don't feel like people get it. Like, how legendary and, like, consistent. And he still looks like he's still a dope performer. Mm-hmm. He's won all these accolades. He has diamond records. It's just, like, I don't feel like Usher gets the respect that he deserves. For all that he's done and accomplished, and over 10 number one. So he just has crazy success. But, yeah, I want to see his residency.
Mm-hmm. You trying to go?
I'm definitely trying to go. I'm going to be in Vegas to act. He's actually going to be performing at the Lovers and Friends Fest in Vegas. And the lineup is crazy. But when I saw TLC and Usher and Lauryn Hill on the same lineup, if she shows, we don't know.
Oh, my God.
I was like, I got to buy tickets. So that's going to be dope. But tell us what we can look forward to for the remainder of 2022 from you.
So I got a couple singles that are coming up. I think I ain't gonna tell y'all which ones we're gonna do yet. But we got a couple singles coming up in the album as well. And you can just see me around, man. I'm about to be doing some more shows. Trying to travel some more. I know I got something down in Atlanta next weekend. Shout out to Sonic Boom. But yeah, so I'm just gonna be trying to
interviews, all of that.
I'm just trying to hit the ground running, especially since we just dropped this single. And yeah, man, catch me out here. If you see me, say hey, say what's up. On the bike.
Rashaad King, tell everybody where they can follow you, stream you, get all your music, all that stuff.
So look, follow me Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at _Rashaad the King. That's RASHAAD the King. I'm on all DSPs as far as music goes. So whichever one you use, hit Rashaad King, same spelling, and stream it. Put that shit on repeat.
Stream it. You know what? Don't just stream it. Download it. Buy it from iTunes. Spend your little $129.
It ain't that much.
You know what I'm saying? Because it counts so much more than a stream. It has to stream so many times in order to just make $1 and some change. So buy the single, support, find out about his calendar, follow him, all the moves and stuff like that. Now, speaking of moves, you know, I know you dance a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I dance a lot, bit.
Right.
Okay.
She's nice with it.
Thank God no bones cracked when I just did that. So like, I think that, you know, we should put on Sprung.
Okay.
And then I think that we should have like a little small dance battle.
I'm with it.
And by small, I mean like 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
Because that's how much before my energy gives out. So...
I'm sprung off a body, got me spending like I never do. I told my friends I'm telling. I'm sprung off a body, got me spending like I never do. I told my friends I'm telling you. Every time I pull up, shawty want all of my love. See her face when I wake up, and I pray we don't ever break up. She look good with no makeup, even better when she beat her face up. Hit them lies, hit them never face up.
Thank you. I need y'all to vote in the comments. Who had that? Who had that?
Hey.